come with safety. The only time I'm safe is when I'm dangerous. Posted in the 30 with this 30, trying to leave them brainless. We still in the jets, exactly where them boys say we ain't hanging. Put cheese on my head, I come collect that shit, you think I'm playing. Trouble hop out bustin' at it, brother miss, you know I'm hitting. We got O's and Bo's in here, and we got wood cook in the kitchen. If I say go get them, they go get them. Young boy fingers itching, fingers squeezing on the trigger. They heard all them glitches. Money man, I run it up. If I fall off, I'm poking shit. Told that bitch quit asking questions. I hate all that notice shit. We send shots the whole year round, no ring around the road and shit. My little bro, he makes you vanish. He with hocus pocus shit. Chopper bust, they hit the ground. It's too many sticks around. We known to get greasy, pussy. Don't you have your bitch around? Switch up on this bitch. I catch him deep, get a whole click around. Put us in the mission, shit that we ain't do, we spinning now. Bitch keep trying to tell me slide, think she trying to set the pick. Other hoes been tripping, texting my bitch on that messy shit. Left a boy up there with his brains out, yeah, that's that messy shit. Bought another Glock, let's catch an op so I can test the bitch.
What's up, peeps? How y'all living, man? StreamYard, y'all. I'm about over it. I'm just about over it, y'all. I'm about over it. We're gonna be using OBS from here on out, probably, because I'm not messing with StreamYard, man. I pay too much money for this not to work every time I open it. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing? Hope you guys had a good day. That's right, a good day. What's good, everybody? How are you doing, Stacy? What's up, Stacy? Hank Bridges. What's up, Hank? 1985. What up, chick? What's up, Florida Life in the Sun? Hello there, CG. Hanan. Lisky. What up, Lee? Earth Angel. Hello there, Earth Angel. Angela Sparks. A good God Gertie. What's up there, good God Gertie? What's up? What's up? Mitzi Hayes. How are you, Mitzi? Angela again. Native Virgo in the house. What's up, Native? Reflections owner. What's up? Bambi. Hello, Bambi. What you doing? What's up, Miss January? We got TT in the building, y'all. TT. What's up, Texas Yvette? Hummingbird. Hello, Hummingbird. Hummingbird. Josie. Hello, Josie. I see you, Josie. Thank you guys, man. Hello, Leslie. Hello, hello. Brooks and Gardens. How are you, Brooks? There's my home girl, DMJ. What's up, DMJ? Lady. What's up, Nazreen? How are you, Nazreen? Slum. What's good, Slum? Oh, I see a lot of members in here. What's up? What's up, members? Deborah, what's good? Tina G, nice to see you again. What's up, Sassy? If you aren't a member of this channel, make sure that you member up and that you hit me up so that you can get that members only Discord link. I appreciate y'all. Who else we got? Who else we got? Pretty Bird. Pretty Bird. Oh, we got a new member. We got a new member. What's up, Create? How are you? I'm doing good. What's up? What's up, no one from nowhere? Salute to you for getting a membership. Make sure you hit me up to get that members only Discord.
Right now, 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 right now.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I don't know if you guys, I kind of tuned out of the Nancy Guthrie investigation a little bit, and I kind of tuned back in today, and it's pretty sad that nothing has been said. Like, I feel like, hello, Tracy. I'm doing pretty good, Tracy. I can't complain. Hello, Miss January. Like, I feel like the police and the FBI aren't doing enough. I really, truly do. I was watching something on here, and I'm going to watch it with you guys. But I feel like they've just kind of like put her to the back burner almost. It's weird how they were all gun-ho Where's the one at? Right here. 16 hours ago. Ashley Bannifield. Remember, she was the one that broke this case. I'm pretty sure it was Ashley. Shout out to the new member. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good in the chat? Y'all doing good? Who else we got in here? All right, let's go. Let's bring this in for y'all, man.
Eastern. If you're not a member, hit the join button and then you can submit questions as well. If you are a member
hit that
already,
join button.
I put the link to
the
chat in my community post on YouTube. So I will see you all tomorrow.
There we go.
And thank you if you've already joined. I really appreciate it. And please don't forget, subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. It really does help a lot in keeping this podcast going. Quick word from my sponsor. Have you checked out
not doing all that, Ashley,
yet? Seriously. Whole different direction now. I've spoken to someone who is in law enforcement, is familiar with the investigation, who has told me that the blood found, and again, blood found inside the house. This is something that I reported on day 3, that another source of mine, a high-level law enforcement source, reported there was blood found inside the house. No one in law enforcement, the sheriff, etc., has confirmed that. But my source said there was blood found in the house.
Yeah, today I believe that they had a search party. A few things was found. A backpack was found. Clothing was found. I watched it up until I passed out taking a nap. But this is like, I didn't follow this at all yesterday. I took a break from it because it just doesn't seem like they're doing anything. It doesn't seem like they're doing anything. Like, maybe they are, and they're just not telling us. But for them to come down on like YouTubers and things like that, they're the ones helping this case right now. The YouTubers and the people that are doing underground media, not lamestream, they're the ones helping the most right now. What's up, Honda Shade Tree?
Today, another law enforcement source familiar with the investigation has said that the pattern of that blood inside the house matches the pattern outside the house, outside Nancy's front doors.
That means she was dripping, y'all. Those aren't splatters. Like it's not from impact. That means she was dripping. I think I've got a lot of theories in this, and I feel a way about it. But I think there was 2 people, or maybe more. One went in, did the deed. The other one came in, they took her, they've done away with her, and I don't feel like they'll ever catch who's doing this. Whoever did it, I'm not even going to give them props because that would be a horrible thing to do. But whoever did this, they did it right, as far as I can see. Now, whatever the police have or whatever they don't have, that's to be determined, right? And I think they have more. I do. Ashley, your house is fucking nice.
So you've seen that video where you can see droplets of
That's what
Nancy
you think
Guthrie's blood leading away from her front door and down the gravel path to the driveway. But those patterned...
So hold on, let me finish.
Those patterned droplets, as many experts have, described it, are as vertical. They fall straight up and down, 90 degrees.
Nose.
And there's no smears, there's no stepping in it, there's no struggle, there's no signs of struggle on that front doorstep. My source tells me it is exactly the same inside the house.
So there is no like splatter. So like when you get hit or an impact and you start to bleed, the blood will like splatter, or it will splatter on the ground, or it will have some kind of like, it'll look like it moved, kind of. I think you guys know what I'm saying. I'm not a detective. I don't know how to put it, but it's like you got a drop and then you got a splatter. And we all know what the two look like. It almost seems like she was bleeding out of her nose and it was just dropping down. I hope that's not the case. What's up, Scooter? Salute, G.
That there's no sign of struggle in that blood. It's not smeared. There's no steps. They are those straight up and down drop pattern blood. I asked where in the house, and I did not get that answer. I can't tell you if it was in the bedroom.
Dude, that's bullshit. Why put out that there's blood in the house, but then not say where? That is just ignorant. I don't see a reason why you couldn't tell everybody what. You've told them everything now. What is the problem with saying, oh, it took place in the bathroom, or they found her, or the blood was in the bedroom? She could have been scratched, hit, stabbed, even shot. I mean, it just depends on how you look at it. Are they carrying her out and the blood's just dropping? Is she being walked out? I don't know what the motive would be other than money. And if they're just there to kill her, then it's the family. They're the only ones that stand to get anything. But it isn't.
If it was in the front entrance, what I can tell you is that at the time that 911 was called and sheriff's deputies were dispatched, and, you know, patrolman came, basically it was a call about a missing elderly woman. They were not aware at the time that this was much more than a missing elderly woman, but the
I'll share it too. Scooter. Drop your link in the chat.
Signs, again, and this is a second source now telling me this, is that the back door was wide open. The blood droplets were inside the house and outside the house, and the front camera had been knocked off.
That's not good.
My first source said smashed, cameras plural, nest. Second source now saying definitely camera knocked off or ripped off or gone, moved off in some way. And so this is just fascinating, because at the same time that I'm learning this information about these blood droplets inside the house matching blood droplets, the same pattern outside the house, there's reporting that comes from NBC that the sheriff has given an interview to NBC, taped it yesterday. It was released today. And I'm recording this at 10 o'clock at night, Saturday, February 21st.
Yeah.
And this is what the reporting says, that there are no names that the sheriff's team is looking into. And there's a snag with the mixed DNA at the Florida lab that the sheriff is using. What's interesting is Michael Ruiz from Fox says, like, this runs completely counter to.
Yeah, if there's a moderator that could drop Scooter's link, I would greatly appreciate it, y'all. Just any moderator. I appreciate it.
To what we've been told till now, or at least what we've discovered. Reporters and investigators who are looking into this case have discovered.
I think so too. Tina. I think so too. I mean, just like any of us, any psychic predictions on what happened to her? I don't know of any. All good. It's just like any of us, man. If somebody comes in our house and they're there to do harm to us, you're gonna fight back too. I'm sure. You're gonna fight back too. Like, you're going to think, did she think enough to make them bleed too? You know, I would hope so. Because if you know you're being kidnapped, I'm going to do something to make you leave some DNA evidence behind or something. But, you know, who knows if she was thinking that? We don't know.
The statements from local law enforcement do not match what we've learned with our own eyes, that there are names that have been taken and photographs to various gun shops all around Tucson. Gun shop owners and workers have actually been on television talking about it, running the names that they were given through their system. None of them apparently coming up positive at this point.
Okay, so how did they get 40 names? Look at Morticia, the #1 first donator of the evening. Well, I appreciate you. I am feeling much better, Morticia. Much, much better. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you that have rode with me, man. I fucking appreciate y'all.
Right now, 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 right now.
Moving that goal. Moving that goal. We're moving that goal. We're moving that goal. We don't have to talk about the Whitakers. Nope, we don't. Not us.
Maybe
other channels might, but not us.
But there were names. It's just that maybe those names haven't panned out. But again, it's the clarity is not there with regard to what the sheriff is
Yeah,
saying.
why no
There's
alert? Great
names
question.
the team is looking into.
They didn't even send out an
FBI
alert.
was certainly looking into names, upwards of 40. Brian Ensign said upwards of 40. Other
Thank
reporters
you,
saying
Brandy.
several
I am too,
dozen.
baby.
Photographs as well being taken around to local gun shops.
I am.
It's also unclear at this point if the DNA that was recovered inside the house, the male profile, unknown male DNA that didn't match Nancy Guthrie or any of those people who are close to her.
So they know it's a male. Okay. That helps a lot. They know it's a male. Unknown male.
It's unclear if it's been useful. This is sad. This is something that, this is coming from how the sheriff has interviewed with NBC. And it's frustrating because the sheriff said that the lab that he's using is having trouble isolating mixed DNA samples.
Oh, boy. Good job, Sheriff. Good job. I thought that your place that you're sending it was A1. Good job, Sheriff. Good job. They're having a problem with it. What's up, Bobby?
Samples. He said again that everything's still being analyzed, but this is troubling
3 to 4?
because we've been wondering why.
Could
We
be.
got a report back so quickly on gloves 2 miles away that had DNA in them that was, sent off to CODIS, returned back, no hits, and also doesn't match DNA that's in the house. But now we're learning.
So they know for a fact it's an unknown male, not Nancy's DNA. So somebody fucked up. No, we're not getting any snow tonight. I don't believe. I think I'm out of the line of it.
That this is a struggle.
Look at the size of that house, man. That is big. Dude, the side house is huge. It's got a patio door.
DNA that's in the house. But now we're learning that this is a struggle. Trying to we've been hearing before from the sheriff that there needs to be a
What's up, Jason?
separation of the mixture. That's kind of the wording that he was using before. But now that there's a snag with mixed DNA at the Florida lab.
Great job.
Unclear.
Great job, Sheriff Nanos. Great job. Now we're having problems with the lab we sent it to. You think it's somebody in law enforcement?
If the DNA recovered has been useful at this time.
What are you doing?
I
Running
thought
around the
right
house?
away to talk to Cece Moore. Cece is the chief genetic genealogist at Parabon Nanolabs. She knows everything. I mean, literally walking encyclopedia when it comes to DNA. And I had so many questions about the difficulty that the lab in Florida is having separating out the mix, as the sheriff told NBC. And then this report that there are these blood drops inside the house. I just had so many questions about what kind of mix could this possibly be. So
Is it blood mixed with other blood? Yeah, they regentrified the area, it looks like. I think there's more to this case than we know. Something is weird with all this, with this sheriff. Dude, that sheriff is not acting like a sheriff, y'all. Salute to my girl, China, baby. You know what baby I'm talking about? The China baby. What's up, China?
Right now, 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 right now.
Aggressive Defiance reacts.
Aggressive as fuck.
Like, comment, and
about
subscribe.
this, as well as the efforts, if they do get that sample, to upload it to CODIS at some point, or if that doesn't work, use investigative genetic genealogy. And they're not the same thing. And there's a lot of confusion about it. And she clears it all up, exactly what the path is. So I want you to hear that conversation with Cece Moore. Cece, tell me about the significance of what the sheriff has told NBC that the Florida lab, and this is, I'm giving it in my lingo.
I feel like it could be botched burglary gone bad. That very well could be. Or it could be a kidnapping. But I don't know what the motive is for a kidnapping and she's gone this long. I don't know any kidnappers that would keep someone over 3 weeks. She's long gone, guys. I think they're looking at a recovery mission instead of get your butt down. Jesus. He is a bad kitty. Yeah, I think they're just doing a recovery. That's why they're not on it. I feel like they've given up on searching for Nancy's live body. And now they're just probably going to be looking for a dead body. And that's going to be tough in the desert.
Is struggling to
That's gonna be
separate
tough.
out this DNA. What does that say to you?
Yeah, it's really concerning. And it tells me that it's unlikely that it is Nancy's DNA mixed with the suspect. And that's really what I was hoping for. Because if it was
won't either.
Nancy's with an unknown male, then that almost certainly would be the suspect, especially if it was fresh DNA, if it was, for instance, blood, if she fought back, because
Yeah.
clearly there was some kind of altercation.
Hopefully
So that
she'll fight back.
leads me to speculate it's more likely it's 2 or more unknown people's DNA. That's not so straightforward.
Ooh.
If you don't know who either of those contributors are.
Ooh.
There might even be more than 2, which really
Wow.
makes it very complex. If it was Nancy's DNA mixed with an unknown male, they have her DNA, they've got the blood from the front porch, it would be relatively straightforward to
Yeah.
extract her portion out from that mixed sample. It's called deconvolution. And it's something we do a lot. Our scientists at Parabon are amazing at it. So a lot of my cases I've been able to help solve were from mixed samples. But you have to have a certain proportion of the person that you're trying to identify in that. If they are the minor contributor by a significant amount, if it's say 90% one person and 10% the person you want to ID, that can be virtually impossible. So it's really disappointing.
Be safe.
I
Trying to
definitely have
baby.
my hopes up that this was
Be
going to
safe.
be a straightforward deconvolution, that it was Nancy and someone else, which would make it more definitively tied to the actual crime. If it's, say, transfer DNA or what's commonly called touch DNA from multiple unknown people, that really does make it difficult, and that's really disappointing.
So there could be 3 people's DNA in one sample? How? Or it possibly could have been collected from different areas. But this just sounds like how I don't care for how they don't want YouTubers there. They're trying to get the YouTubers to go home. Why wouldn't you want as much people there as possible? Other than you're failing and you don't like it that the people are putting it out that you're failing as a sheriff. You're failing. It's kind of sad, man. There was today. Today, the people got together and they did a little organized search. They turned up a backpack, which I don't think was the backpack. They turned up some clothing, which I don't think any of it was the clothing. Yeah, I think they've done away with Nancy. Yeah, the YouTubers are far from the problem.
Many questions about that, and the news that my source has broken to me today is that those blood droplets outside continued inside in the same pattern inside. I can't tell you where, just that the blood that was found inside the house, my source, law enforcement source, says it is the same droplet pattern. It's not a struggle. It's not a smear.
Could it be their blood, y'all? The sheriff stopped a lot from showing up by his tweet, said they needed a permit. sad.
But does that help you to sort of think through what might be happening in Florida?
Well, we don't even know if it is that sample, at all. It could be something completely different. Maybe they swabbed a faucet.
The
for
apple
instance.
dumpling
Sometimes
gang?
when people
Damn.
are at a crime scene for an extended period of time, which it sounds like this person was, they use the restroom. It's the oddest thing. There's been people who have spit in the toilet, who have used the toilet and left it and didn't flush it. And so we've been able to identify people that way. So it's so difficult to speculate as to what it is they have without more information.
They've got to
But
give us
just,
more
as
information,
we
man.
just
They're not
discussed,
giving
the fact that
they're not
it's-
giving us no information. They haven't done a press conference in what, over 2 weeks? That just kind of tells me they don't have shit, y'all.
The deconvolution is difficult.
They don't have
that
nothing.
Reporting is true. That does make me believe it's less likely that it is one of those straightforward deconvolutions where you can extract out one person's known DNA.
And to be clear, the sheriff has only released that there is biological, matter that they are continuing to test. At one point said DNA, male DNA, not connected to Nancy or her immediate circle of known.
I
known
actually
Okay,
did
that's good
see
to
him
know.
say it was a mixture. First, he was talking about separating it out, so I was speculating it was a mixture. But then I actually heard him use those words.
I seen
Yeah,
that
and I did
part.
too. And I wondered, is it possible that now knowing this information that there's this blood and its droplets inside the house, that there might have been some kind of a struggle or an injury happening where the assailant,
That's good though.
expelled.
They're holding back information. It's probably a good thing that they're doing that, but man, you're making the public unrest. You're making the public uneasy by not giving out something of what you've, like anything that has helped along the way. You're not giving any updates, but you're worried about how the public feels about you. Only going to get worse as the time goes on that you don't give a press conference, that you don't talk to the people. The morale is only going to get worse. It will not inflate.
Saliva or just expiring, his own breath may have mixed with her blood. Is that a possibility?
Be
It
safe,
certainly
1985.
is, but I believe that if that was what they were working with, they would not be struggling with it. Now, I don't know how reliable that reporting is, but if that is correct, that is what leads me to believe that it is something, less straightforward than that. Ever since we heard there was a mixture, I was hoping it's Nancy's DNA, it's the suspect's DNA mixed. That, would be something that I don't think the lab would struggle with at all. But we've been contacted in the past where they've had 3 contributors or 4 contributors. And, if these are unknown individuals, it becomes very difficult, if not impossible, to separate that out, to be able to focus on this one person.
A lot of people would wonder, well, what kind of a mixed source might they have tapped? And I'm not suggesting you're going to know, but I thought if there's male DNA, it could be, it came in a FedEx package and the FedEx package went onto the counter in the kitchen. Is that the kind of thing that might end up becoming a mixed sample, or is that way off?
No,
Think
that's
he's involved,
correct,
Charlie?
and that is why it
You think he's involved? I've heard that theory too. I've heard that he's involved somehow. That would be very, very fucking crazy if he was, but I don't think so.
so disappointing
I just
to me
think
as
he
well,
doesn't know what he's
because
doing.
if it's not blood, if it's not saliva, if it's
I think
transfer
this is
DNA,
the worst thing he's ever had to
touch
deal
DNA, as
with,
people
and it's
call it,
beating his ass.
that is less likely to be the suspect, because we leave DNA everywhere we go. And you and I could be together and I could get a piece of your hair on me and I could go home and transfer that into my home and you were never even there. So having someone's DNA, if it's transfer DNA, doesn't necessarily mean they were even there. We could shake hands and I leave a few skin cells on your hand and then you could transfer that somewhere. And so it's just far less definitive, if that is the type of DNA that they're working with, that it's actually the suspect's DNA. And we know he had gloves. We know he was covered, right? We saw the video. So he was definitely making an effort to
He's the
not
star
leave any
witness?
biological material behind.
But he was breathing. But he was breathing, and doesn't breath just automatically expel, or is that just too small of a sample?
I think it depends. I think if somebody sneezed or
Yeah, lots of people. And that's not a bad thing, Monica. It really isn't. Like if you go on YouTube, lots of people are analyzing this case, theorizing. I'm not the greatest reporter. I'm rough around the edges. I'm hardcore. But it doesn't stop me from following the story. I'm hardcore rough around the edges. I'm not your typical fucking true crime reporter
coughed, you'd have a much better chance. Breathing, not so much. But he had that, what appeared to be that flashlight in his mouth. So that's really hopeful because he likely took that out, right?
Yeah.
So he's wearing gloves to try to keep from leaving his DNA, but there's saliva all over that, what looked to be a bite flashlight. He takes it out of his mouth. Now he has saliva all over his gloves. And that could absolutely have been left in the home. It would have been very difficult for him not to leave that somewhere. So that's hopeful. But maybe it's on the door, right? I'm not sure.
Handle. Yeah. Right? Or, I mean, on the door handle, on the cameras that are missing, and my source said smashed, but certainly it is gone off that bracket. That could have, and I wondered that what appears to be a bite light in your mouth would also make you salivate, and maybe there had been some saliva that dropped on those front tiles.
Exactly. I've been speculating the exact same thing for the last.
It's going to end up being a DNA thing that catches this guy. I feel that wholeheartedly. I don't feel like they're ever going to find Nancy. She's gone. And you're in the desert, man. You're in the desert. I don't feel like they're going to find her alive. And if they do, then I'll start believing in miracles. Okay? If they find her alive, I'll start believing in miracles.
Few days that if he leaned forward to disable that camera with that in his mouth, it would have been extremely difficult to keep from slobbering on the ground. So I think that's an option too, although that's more likely to be single source. And it doesn't, and single source means, just that person's DNA.
Wow, Stacey.
But it doesn't sound like that's what they're working with. If they had that, I don't think they'd be struggling because it's unlikely there'd be.
Yeah, they done walked all over it unless they collected it firsthand. They could have got it before. I just feel like they're telling us what I don't know, what they want us to know or what they want us to believe. They've been on a wild goose chase. I agree. Crime scene's been walked all over. People in the fucking yards, fucking digging and shit. Like, what? What would make you just start digging? That's not very smart. Like, let's just go dig holes. We'll find her that way. No, the fuck you won't. She's gone, man.
Anyone else's DNA right there under that.
And it was found inside the house. We know that the biological matter and
people cleaning the pool,
mixed
locksmith
DNA is from inside the house. What else could that be? Could that be? I mean, I suppose it could be a lot of things, but what sort of examples could you imagine in your line of work that a mixed sample inside the house?
Y'all are fire, man. I love this chat.
It could be blood, it could be saliva, it could be semen and bodily fluids, it could be touch transfer DNA. Those and it could be hair, but not mixed. So if it's hair, it wouldn't be mixed. So if we're just talking about mixed exclusively, those are the only ones that I agree to think of. So,
hey, Kimmy, how are you?
How
you doing, girl?
Sweat, which is typically, transfer DNA, is you find that.
So again, he's covered head to toe, so it's hard to imagine that any sweat would have.
Unless he touched something, that outfit looked uncomfortable. If he reached inside that, and he could very well have been sweating, or maybe some could have dripped because he did have some bits of skin that were uncovered. And if he leaned forward, for instance.
Yeah, Brandy, I've said what I had to say at this point. I don't really care to keep it going on, but I'll always answer anybody's call out. Always. I think at this point she is gone. Like wild animals have taken care of her, gone. It breaks my heart that it's come to this. I'm being truthful too. I don't think we're going to find Nancy alive. Thank you, Native. I appreciate it. Shout out to Kimmy. Been in the bushes. Don't be in them bushes. Don't be in them bushes. You got off on.
If
You
Nancy
keep the
was in
haters off,
bed,
darling, with
for
that
example,
off
and you
spray.
lean forward, during the abduction, it's certainly possible something could have dripped on the sheets. I don't think we have any reason to believe there was a sexual assault, but we very commonly see mixtures.
Oh, that would be
sexual
horrible.
assaults. That's very, very common. It's actually one
That
of the
would be
reasons we
horrible.
work with them so often. Hopefully there was nothing like that, but we can't rule it out because we don't know what they found
Chris, what's
in the
up?
home. So, to summarize what you just asked, blood, saliva, semen, sweat, skin cells are probably the options that they'd be
So
with.
if we're talking about, I mean, skin cells are hard again because he's all covered up. But like you said, if he touched that bite light,
If he pulled that mask off, he probably pulled some hair off. You know, if you pulled that mask off and some hair came out on the floor, you would never know it. You would never know it. If like you can do stupid things to leave your DNA behind. I agree. Like you could be doing some dumb shit by pull the mask off, don't know you dropped hair. Like you're not on the ground looking for fucking evidence that you're leaving behind. Believe it or not, I'm sure if you break into a house, you're trying to be there as long as possible. Like you're not trying to be there very long because your whole mind is going to be going, get out of this house, get out of this house. This ain't your house. Anybody could be coming home. So I felt like them being in there for 40 minutes, they knew sure nobody was coming. They knew that nobody was going to be there to save her. Or somebody wasn't going to find her, until the next day or whatever. 40 minutes is a long time for any burglar to be in somebody's house. I'm just saying. I think they need to do a press conference too, just to fucking bring the morale back up a little bit, I think the public is turning on the sheriff. I do. 40 minutes is a very long time. Shit, 3 minutes in a house feels like an hour probably. I'm not a burglar. I think I only broke into a house maybe once in my entire life, and it scared the shit out of me. But I was young as shit, probably 17. Yeah, you just don't do that shit. People could kill you. Usually I've learned that in a burglary, people that burglarize someone's homes, 90% of the time, it's somebody that you know. Always. They know your coming and goings. They know you're going to be back at this time. They know you're gone at this time. They know you just left and you won't be back. That's burglary. It's usually always somebody you know. Burglars don't usually just drive down the street and say, oh, I'm going to get that house. Looks like it's empty. Nobody's there right now. Boom! Kick the door in and fucking shotgun waiting on you. Yeah. I just don't get it. 40 minutes is a long time in there. 40 minutes is long enough to leave some DNA behind. I'll tell you that much. 40 minutes is a lot of time to leave some DNA. Fumbling around with stuff. I would like to know how the house was left. Was it in disarray? Did it look great? This is things that the sheriff should be telling us. That way we know what he's looking at and what he's doing. Like, these are things that they ain't telling us. Was the house in disarray? Was anything taken? Exactly how long were they in there? Because around 40 minutes don't mean 40 minutes to me. They need to say more. They need a press conference.
now the saliva's on the glove.
They need the
and he
public's help
uses a
more
door
now.
handle. He's got to open a door, right?
And then that
Um,
would be mixed, right? Because a lot of people touched that door handle.
I know what you're saying
undoubtedly.
now.
So you have to hope he was the last one who did, and he's the major contributor. You're
Has to
always
be.
hoping in the mixture
Beth, get it
that
cracked.
your
What's up?
unidentified person that you need to zero in on is the majority of that DNA
So-
sample.
Can I ask you, it's hard to know what the sheriff means when he says that they're having trouble isolating mixed DNA samples.
Mhm.
Is it possible they will never get an actual viable sample from a mix, or is it just
Yes.
possible that they're having trouble identifying it?
It is possible that they would be
Or
unable
never.
to deconvolute it to
Damn.
the point where it would be identifiable.
There
That's
goes your
why
fucking
it's so
want to send it to
disappointing.
Florida
Why is
lab,
that?
bud.
Too small a sample?
It's more
Wow.
if it's the percentages. So if it is the minor contributor that you're trying to identify, and he's only 10% of that mixture, it can be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to identify that individual, especially if it's more than 2. If it's
I gotta
2,
get a
I
new
think,
mouse.
there's a
I'm gonna get
chance.
new
But
computer.
if it's 3 and 4, and you don't have the
We're getting us
reference
a new
samples
computer,
for
chat.
the other individuals in that mixture, then you've got a real
Not a
problem.
new computer.
If they could say, okay, there's 3 people in this mixture, and one of them is Annie.
We're going to be upgrading this system. Definitely. Probably within here the next week. I'm going to get a desktop. The way I don't have to worry about this laptop bullshit. Where I can do some real editing. Yeah. This guy, the sheriff, is a damn joke. You know he needs the fucking public's help more than anything right now. Why not do a press conference? Give everything you got, you know what I mean? Up to a certain, degree of what you got. Everything that you can't figure out, you give to the public. That's what I would do. Everything that I couldn't piece together, I would give to the public. And then I would have officers watching the public's YouTube channels, watching JLR. I mean, they probably already are, but that's what I would do. I would give out all these clues that are fucking with me, and I would put it into the public's hands and let them do their thing. Because believe it or not, man, a lot of these YouTubers, these viewers of ours, I'll say it in here too, because they are. They're just private investigators without a badge. And I'm not bullshitting. I'm not playing one bit. Some of y'all viewers got some great detective skills. You might have been in the wrong field for work. I'm just saying. Some of it can be bullshit, but some of them really put that work in.
Okay, we've got Annie's DNA. We can work with that to extract it. That would be helpful. But then you still have 2 unknown individuals. And it's very difficult to separate that out without a reference sample unless one person's DNA is, by far the major contributor in that mixture. So I wouldn't say it's impossible. It just depends on so many factors. Depends on how many people in the mixture. It depends on the percentages. Is one person 50%, one person 40, and another 10? Is one person 90%?
So it's basically saying, like, if they test a car door handle, how many people have drove that car? So it's all those people's samples, and they're just trying to pull them out of it or something. I guess that's what they're saying. Sounds like Mr. Sheriff Nanos that wanted to send his DNA to Florida flubbed up a little bit, didn't he? It should have went to the FBI in Quantico, like it always does.
And another 10, all of those things are
Okay.
what go into determining whether it's going to be able to.
Well, they said there was other cameras, but they're not telling us nothing about it. No, they said she had other cameras inside the house. Why are they not showing us? Maybe it's too gruesome. But maybe they can't get the footage. What it sounds like to me. A lot of people, they don't get the subscription because if you've got it on your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth, you know what I mean? You can check things from your phone. And people are so used to just checking things on the phone with their cameras or on their computer with their cameras or on their TV or whatever. They check them and they don't think that they should have a subscription. Well, I'm here to tell all 92 of you guys, get a camera system. It's cheap as hell, and keep the subscription. Something like this ever happens, they won't have a problem going back and getting any footage that they want. Not no 72-hour loop. They can go and get any day after you pay them. So please pay and have a subscription. Get you a doorbell camera and get 4 cameras along the corners of your house. Each corner of the house should have a camera up high. And it's cheap, guys. It's cheap. Probably the most expensive thing, if you guys can't hang them, would be someone hanging the cameras for you. You can get a Ring doorbell camera for $60 on Amazon right now.
Be successfully deconvoluted and then identified.
And to be clear, I've mentioned this a lot in many of my episodes. This lab in Deerfield Beach, Florida, I think it's called DNA International. Is that
DNA
correct?
Labs International, yes.
DNA Labs International. No joke. They are good.
Right.
And they
are
have
very
solved. Right. And I know that there was a lot of consternation early on. How could the sheriff do this? But literally, they are a phenomenal outfit that has solved crimes before, like really tricky crimes to solve.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't do it, is there anybody else who could? Or if they can't do it, you're at the end of the road.
Well, I mean, I don't want to advocate for Parabon, but I would say Parabon's bioinformatics scientists are specialists in mixture deconvolution. It's something that they are especially good at. A lot of my successful cases have been. But again, even for them, it's going to come down to the proportions and the number. So I don't know. I haven't worked with DNA Labs International's deconvolution because we have such good bioinformaticists at Parabon. So I don't want to say they're better than theirs. I don't know.
Well, it's like this, you guys. If you're who is going to get paid the most if she's gone? That's where you start. Like, who stands to get the most after Annie dies? I would start right there. Look at the will, and see who's set to get the most. And I would look at who's getting what. Because this is how, I mean, I kind of feel like they would have left her there, though. Why did they take her? That's what's blowing my mind, kind of. Why would they take the body unless they still have her? That's my only hope, is why did they remove her unless she's still alive? Because if you're there just to offer, pow, pow, dead, gone, see ya. I mean, and leave the body. That way she's found and you get the will quicker if she's found. Right now, they're not giving no insurance money out for her. They're not giving no will. They're not doing no will for her. She's not found. And they never will until she's found. That's what's crazy. So I don't think it has anything to do with the will or anything, because they would just get rid of her, right? They would make sure that she was found, because they'll never get the will or the insurance money if she's not found.
No, but I believe very strongly in this.
You think she's still alive? I hope
them.
so.
They are great at extracting DNA. Parabon doesn't do extractions, so we've had them extract
You're not
the
crazy,
DNA
Katie.
from the evidence on a lot of our successful cases that I've been able
not
to
crazy
go
at
on
all.
and help law enforcement solve. And so I know how good they are on really difficult samples. So as I've been saying all week, I have full confidence in them. And I actually think the sheriff made a great choice, because they're kind of a one-stop shop. They can do the extraction. They can create the STR profile, which is the one that's uploaded to CODIS, and they can create the SNP profile that's used for genetic genealogy. All in parallel, right? As soon as they do the extraction, they can start both of those other processes at once. And so he saved time, because if you just send it to someone that only has the capability for the CODIS profile, which the FBI does, FBI doesn't have the capability to create a SNP profile.
What? The FBI don't have the capability to do it, but other people do. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That just sounds foolish. That they don't have the greatest and best technology there is, but some other people do. It's a little
genetic genealogy in-house. They always send that out.
Okay, so
and that is not something that is done in public labs, government labs. It's always a private third-party lab that creates that SNP profile. And so by sending it to a lab he has a lot of experience with, he's had a contract with them for a long time, he's obviously had a lot of successes with them. To me, that was a great choice. Was it the best choice? I don't know. I would think so, in my opinion.
Monica, that could have been, you know, all your theories could be. I mean, I've seen some crazy people say the aliens took her and all that. Come on now. But like everybody's theories is it could be, no doubt. I think somebody did something to her, or at least went in there and got her. And then they called whoever it was that came up and took the camera down. I think that person was ushered into that. I don't think that's the person that went in the first time. I think whoever went in went around the back, went into like a window. They said the back door was open. And if you've offed her, why would you want to drag her all the way around back to the front? No, you're going to go right out the front door and into the car. That's probably why there was blood droplets, because they was lifting her and it was just coming down vertically. Or they were there when she got home. Good fucking point. Good point. Yeah, they got Rick. I'm from Indiana, so I followed that Delphi stuff a little bit, you know. It got too fucking crazy for me. It did. It got too crazy. But he even was Rick in the Delphi murders, he told on himself in Westville when they were housing him in Westville. He got on the phone telling on himself. Fucking idiot. No, he's not innocent, bro. He told on himself. Rick told on himself, man. He asked his people, what's the call say? He asked them if they would forgive him. But yeah, he did it. They're saying he's just crazy and all that. Nah, man, people don't confess to stuff like that unless they did it. Yeah, he confessed. He ended up confessing on the phone.
But I don't know all, the details. But the fact he was criticized for it,
you're in the business. Really, I think people would value your opinion because this literally is your business. You know it better than any of us.
Well, I think he made a great choice. And the fact he was criticized for it was, in my mind, competitive posturing from the people that were speaking out about it, because the person who originally was interviewed that came out,
look at all that media, man,
owns a competing lab, and they would have, I'm sure,
they put up a new wall thing in front of Nancy's. They made it a 1-lane road. I'm probably guessing that they're going to try to kick the media up out of there soon.
Like to have worked the case. We all would have liked to have worked the case. I would have loved to have helped try to find Nancy, but only one lab, one team is likely.
He wasn't in a room though, Chris.
Opportunity, at least outside.
He was just being housed at Westville. He called home and told them. He told his family he did it. Yeah, he told his family he did it. And when you do that, man, there's no coming back from that. Yeah, that trail that they were walking goes from their area all the way down to my city. Like, it's a really long trail. I mean, long. You're probably talking 100 miles, 60 miles, 70 miles, maybe. You think they were after? It does look like they were after nothing but her. That makes a good point. That's a very good point, 1985. And why wouldn't the police tell us if anything was missing? If the house was in shambles? Like, if people were going through the drawers, fucking dumping drawers, flipping mattresses, If you think like a criminal, it's like, what, did you go there just to take Nancy? Well, if so, then that's a kidnapping, not a botched burglary.
By the FBI, the FBI may come in and bring their investigative genetic genealogy team in, just like they did on the Kohberger case.
Great
It was
point.
started by one company, and then it wasn't happening quickly enough, apparently. So the FBI took over the investigative genetic genealogy and identified him. We might see something similar here, but first they've got to get that SNP profile. And probably the glove that was found
It's going to be,
2
it's
miles
going
from
to end
the
up
home,
going cold.
I wouldn't be surprised if they already have that, or already, moving forward with that.
Yeah, he was in the
But
hole.
the DNA inside the home, which to me is much more compelling, apparently seems to be challenging. So it may take a while for them to create a SNP profile, if they're even able to do so.
Yeah, in there for
So that's
40
the first
minutes.
time I've said that, because I've always thought they absolutely would be able to, but I didn't have all the information.
And I'm going to get to that process in a minute, but I just want to be super clear, because sometimes I need people to talk to me like I'm 5.
As we all do, if it's something we're not super familiar with.
Right. STR is
Oh, that sheriff fucked this up good, man. They took her because they wanted to take her. What their intentions were, we don't know. But it wasn't about her jewelry or her loose change. Yeah. Now the fucking wonder if she's still alive. And why would they take her to kill her? Maybe they didn't want to do it there because it'd be nasty. It would get bloody, you know? I don't know why they would take her. And then if you took her, you could just dump her anywhere. You don't have to really hide her. All you got to do is put gloves and everything back on and dump her anywhere you want. But just make it so where people can find her. I'm sure this family would like her body back. When my mom was cremated, I was happy the day I went and picked her back up, dude. I felt like I was bringing her home again. I really did. When my mom was picked up from passing away, I called the law, and then the coroner come out and got her. From that time up, and it was like 3 weeks before I got her back. And when I finally went to get her, I felt like I was picking my mom up to come home, and that I don't have to miss her anymore. I'm serious. I felt that way. I still feel that way. She's right in there in my living room.
the standard thing that most people are used to hearing about, but SNP, how does that differ in the most simplistic terms?
It's just a completely different type of genetic marker. So an STR is a short tandem repeat. It's a certain type of genetic marker. SNP is a single nucleotide polymorphism. It's a type of genetic marker that changes quickly. So we share 99.9% of our DNA. But if you want to identify someone, you need to look at the portions of the DNA that mutate more quickly, that vary among us. And the only reason that two people would share a significant stretch of
time to get away
is if they have a common ancestor in their family tree. And that is what
how does that get them more
work is
time,
based on.
Bird? Let me theorize with you. How does that help them get more time though? Good shit, Kimmy. If they take her, that just puts a lot more heat on yourself. You got to think that's crazy as hell to like wonder if you should take a body. I don't know. Would any of y'all think about taking a person? Other than if you were hired. Maybe these people were hired. You think they took her to buy time to get rid of her? Or to buy time to get away? Criminals aren't always the smartest fucking thing in the world either. Think Tommaso hired some people allegedly.
We need to find people that share these long stretches of SNPs in their DNA because they can only inherit that from a common ancestor.
Most of what you're saying is lost on me, but let me ask you.
Okay, yeah, I'm not saying it an easy way. Okay, well, STRs, you have.
Let me ask you if this is accurate. Okay. And again, this is sort of I'm the neophyte in the room right now, but the way I've always understood it is you take a sample and you upload it to CODIS. And if it's a perfect 100% match, you get.
said without the jail phone call, he said he looked like the bridge guy. He was there that day. Hey, I'm not saying if he was guilty or not, but he did confess. I mean, that's just. I mean, he confessed. I don't know what to say, you know. And his people were on the phone going, no, you're not confessing. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. And you got a man saying, yeah, I did it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. You could go either way with it. I didn't follow it enough to know like the whole lore as far as like the true crime side of it on YouTube, because I seen it so much on my local media on TV, dude. Every day, bro. Every day. When that picked back up, it was all about the Delvi murder.
Result.
And it'll
If
be the
it's-
same string of numbers.
Oh, my nerves.
Yes.
Okay. If it's not quite a full match, but it's a 50% match, CODIS will say, we can't help you, but you should take that 50% because we might actually have here a family member, a parent is 50%. If you get a 25% match, maybe it's a sibling or a cousin at 12% or an aunt or an uncle. And you're on your own as a law enforcement agency. You can't use CODIS now, but you can go off to the state databases because some states have a pretty robust database of offenders and even arrestees. And if the state database doesn't help, well, then I'm going to get to this. It's a longer conversation. You go sort of like the Hail Mary and you look to the retail genealogy databases like 23andMe and Ancestry.
I was combative.
And because they're private and not available, you
Yeah,
gotta
mine
use
happened
more.
years ago
Does
too.
that sound right? The way I explained it?
Mostly. So let's.
Yeah, the
break it
one on
down.
the right's a
Three
DNA
different
lady.
types
That's the one that
of
was talking to
searching.
JLR that day when JLR left Nancy's and was going to like that bridge, that wash or whatever. She went over there to him and was talking to him personally. So she's getting her name out there. She has her own DNA thing. And apparently she's good at it. You know, I guess when you can be better than the feds, you can just make the feds come to you. It's pretty dope, actually.
In databases. There's the STR profiles in CODIS where they're looking for an exact match. They can also search the state and local databases for that exact match. They're looking for that person who's been arrested and or convicted of a serious crime and they've been compelled to put their DNA in that database. Some states allow what's called familial searching. There's a lot of confusion with genetic genealogy and familial. Familial is using that same STR profile, that law enforcement genetic profile, to look for immediate relatives. It really only works for very close relatives, typically
like the 50%ers, like the parents,
parent, child, and full siblings. So full siblings also share on average 50%. Parents and children exactly 50%. Full siblings on average 50%. There is a more complex type of familial DNA searching in the law enforcement databases called YSTRs. And they're looking for people who share their direct paternal line. So their father's line.
I'm learning so much.
Distant relatives, but they connect on that direct line. Then there's investigative genetic genealogy. So if both of those fail, we can broaden the search because we're looking at about 700,000 genetic markers across the genome, which gives us the power to find distant relatives, second, third, fourth, fifth cousins and beyond. Dude. Anyone who uploads their DNA or tests at one of those companies will have hundreds, if not thousands, of relatives on their match list.
Or if they've been arrested too, right? Match. Like if a family member's been arrested and you got a family member over here that they're looking for, they can go over here to you and say, who's all in your family? We want to know who's live in your family right now. And then they break it down like that. Wow, dude. Like to think you can't hardly get away with shit anymore unless it's just you're by yourself, bro. You really got to do things by yourself.
They might share less than 1% of their DNA.
But you cannot do fucking burglaries and murders,
man. It's just a matter of how far back your common ancestors are in the tree. If you share 12% of your DNA, you're probably first cousins. You share grandparents. If you share 3%, You're probably second cousins, share great grandparents.
See,
If you
all the way
share
down to
1%, you may be
3%.
third cousins and share
All the way
great
down to
great-grandparents.
1%.
So the amount of DNA tells us how far back we have to go in the tree to find the common ancestor. Now you got into the next thing, which is, though, despite the fact there are over 50 million, despite the fact that there are over 50 million people who have taken direct consumer DNA tests, law enforcement is barred from using the vast majority of those profiles because the 3 largest companies have barred their use. So,
It's
And
good,
again,
though.
it's not that they're trying to obfuscate or be difficult. These are private companies and
Yes.
their clients, their customers.
I agree. It's
maybe
good
didn't
for us.
expect that suddenly.
I've never sent my
You know,
DNA
they
off.
bought
They
this
have it.
service and they were going to be
Oh,
opened up to law
felon.
enforcement, and maybe their uncle would be
got
arrested
my
because of it. I
DNA.
mean, it's a fair move that they made to say it's private.
They got my DNA back when they used to take it from the blood. When I first went to the prison system and I went to where the reception area is, because everybody has to go to the reception area. You're locked down for 30 days, up to 60 days to find out which penitentiary they're going to put you at to start. So when you go in there, they used to take blood for the DNA. Now they'll just swab the shit out of you. But if they already have it, they won't do it.
And it's not open for law
But
enforcement.
every
but what
felon
I've
gets
come
it.
to learn over the
Every
years is the
felon gets
vast
swabbed
majority
now.
of people believe that law enforcement is using Ancestry DNA and 23andMe when they're not. In fact, I even hear it in the media all the time. So I've spent a lot of time trying to dispel this misconception. I also get a lot of emails and comments on social media where people say, I wanted to help you solve cases, so I tested at Ancestry or 23andMe. And I have to say, no, we can't access that. There's even people in my comments right now swearing that they were given the option to check a box to help law enforcement in Ancestry. That's not possible.
No, that's not the case.
That's never happened. So they're misremembering. But the majority of the
Misremembering,
people in
you
those
go, girl.
databases seem to believe law enforcement is already using them. Now, of course, the people that are more educated about the subject, the genetic genealogists, the people that are, have spent more time in this, know that they're not in there. And those people certainly, may have objections. But there are.
Can you go to like 23andMe or whatever it's called? I don't know. Those sites that help you find other people, right? Well, can't the FBI go to them and say, look, please help us? We're stuck right now. We got some DNA. Can we run it through your fucking system? And why wouldn't they? I know it's against the rules, but why wouldn't they? To catch murderers and kidnappers? Of course do it. Now, you shouldn't be doing it for a DUI. You shouldn't be doing it for a fucking theft or a drug case. No. But if there's murder, kidnapping, children, women getting hurt, yeah, get that DNA, baby. I feel like they can, but I don't think I thought about subpoena. Maybe they could subpoena them to do it, but they can't even do that. There's no reason that the subpoena would even go through. There's not even a good reason to say, I want to search through your database because it's their database. Nah, they won't be able to do it with a warrant unless they know for a fact that there is something there. That's how they would get the warrant, but they don't know. And that's going to be a problem. Yeah. They've got special laws and restrictions put up for this. And they have to know that something's in there before they would ever be able to get a warrant. Yeah. Yep. But they're the FBI, yo. They're the FBI. If you go to the owner of that place and go, look, man, we need this. Let us run it. And they ran it and got them, you'd be a hero.
Studies that have been done, long-term studies on the public perception of genetic genealogy, and it's been surprising. Even I was surprised at the level of support. About 91%
yes, please hit that like button on the way
supported the use of genetic genealogy to identify violent criminals. And so that wide
salute to y'all
support in the public, I would think would encourage these bigger companies to create an opt-in system like GEDmatch. GEDmatch is one of the small databases that we can access. You check a box there if you're willing to let law enforcement compare.
So there are one. What's up, Regina?
Ancestry could do that. 23andMe could do that. They've chosen not to. They've taken the stance, we're not even going to give our customers that choice. that if they would do that, that would be a good middle ground. And I don't think law enforcement would serve them with warrants. But I think the way it's going with the resistance that these companies have put up, I think there will be warrants served on these companies. There's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. Some of these companies have really deep pockets. And
I think they could get it if they want.
It's going to be tough for them to win it because of the precedent that's been set in the past, that it's hard to keep law enforcement out from somewhere that the public is able to go.
Yeah.
And so I've had this explained to me by a former FBI lawyer, a brilliant man, Steve Kramer. And, you know, it sounds, I'm not a legal expert, but it sounds like they're going to have a very good basis to serve these warrants and a very good chance that they could win and get this court order. And then they're in there seeing the whole database. It would be, you know, so much better if people were given that option to choose. That's always what
I always thought it was
is freedom of choice.
I didn't have a choice. My DNA was taken without choice. Oh yeah. It wasn't my choice. Just because I was a felon. No fucking violence on my record whatsoever. No weird fucking cases. Literally a forgery and a few thefts. And I got some driving issues, you know. I've messed up driving a lot. A long time ago, though. Years and years ago.
That the customers have the right to opt into, because I do think a lot of people want to help. I mean, just look at the 40,000 tips that have come in to the FBI and to the local law enforcement in Tucson.
They just don't know that they have to download their raw data and put it in one of the 3 databases we can access, which are GEDmatch.
And name those 3, just so everybody can hear. Name those 3 other databases that you can check a box and you can be part of the problem solving.
The 3
databases. No. I didn't do any federal time. No. I mean, I almost could have. The check that I did the most time for, the one they got me on was 25 grand. But I did a cleanup statement on 3 other checks as well. There was many others, but I only had to clean up on 3. If anybody knows what a cleanup statement is they've got me busted for the one that I did. They got me dead rights to one. And then there's other ones that they think I did that I just admitted to, and they could clear it. You know what I mean? I didn't get charged with them, but yeah, they got me for one that was 25 grand. I had 2 other ones that were a little bit more than that. I was getting away with it for a long time. I just got greedy.
Cases that we are allowed to use for these types of cases are GEDmatch, Family Tree DNA, and the new nonprofit database called DNA Justice. It's the smallest at the moment.
When you go to prison in the state of Indiana, they send you to this satellite facility. It's called RDC, Reception Diagnostic Center. And then every inmate has to go through that. And then they evaluate you. They keep you there for like 30 days doing all this fucking medical screenings and all that dumb shit. And then they decide which prison you're going to go to. It's inside the state on whatever, I don't know, your point system is. If you've been in trouble in the prison system before, they look through all that shit. And then they send you to where you're going to start doing your time at.
We're hoping to grow it. And what it's really good for are people who don't want their DNA in a public database where other people can see them. I have people contact me saying, I want to help law enforcement, but I don't want to be seen by my relatives. I don't want adoptees to see me, for instance. And so in DNA Justice, it's exclusively for law enforcement and investigative genetic genealogists who are working their cases. Nobody else can see the match.
I remember that too.
You don't log in like you do at GEDmatch and see the other people in there. So those are the 3 options, but you have to kind of jump through hoops if you're going to upload to GEDmatch and DNA Justice, because they don't test DNA. You have to have tested elsewhere. So you have to download your raw data and then go create an account and upload. Family DNA will, and we lose a lot of people who want to help us during the
because it's a big process. That's a lot to ask. It's
already
a lot to ask of someone to just come in and volunteer this privacy issue, and then to ask them to take these other steps. Let me ask you about how rare the warrant process is.
Rare.
I've heard you speak in the past that you're just so nervous in terms of crime fighting. You're just so nervous that you're going to lose that incredible opportunity if it's overused by too many warrants.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not something that has been done. There have not been warrants served
Good
on
shit.
these large companies, 23andMe and
Never?
Ancestry DNA. No, because they have a transparency report where they release if they have successful warrants, or I think any warrants, and they have gotten credit card information from their members, but
I love y'all,
no
man.
law enforcement, to my knowledge,
My
and I'm
YouTube
pretty
sleuths
in
in
the
the
loop,
chat.
has ever been able to get
My private investigators are in the chat,
a
y'all.
sample
Shout out
into
to
their
the chat.
databases.
Y'all alive?
Warrant. It just
Okay.
hasn't happened yet.
I
But I
thought
believe it is coming. It would have happened if the Charlie Kirk murderer had not been
I'm gonna do a
identified
poll,
so
y'all.
quickly, or
do a poll.
the attempted assassination of President Trump. If they hadn't found that person, I can almost guarantee those warrants would have been served, but they identified those individuals in other ways. I don't know if this will be the case, but I think it's very possible this is the case. If it's not this case, it'll be another case very soon. I think the FBI is ready to serve those warrants on those companies. And MyHeritage is a whole different discussion. We know it was used in Kohberger, but that's because they accepted outside uploads. They used to allow you to test elsewhere and then port your raw data over there and upload it, just like GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA do. But they stopped doing that after the Kohberger hearings revealed that their database was used. So now you have to swab your cheek and send it in to them. At Ancestry and 23andMe, you have to spit in the tube and mail it in. And they can tell. People say, well, they'll just sneak the forensic sample in.
we got a poll up. I'm gonna shoot that poll because I want to get other people's opinions on that. I want to know what you guys think. What's your gut telling you? Don't go with your heart. Don't go with your brain. Go with your gut on that poll. What does your gut feeling tell you? I want to know what your gut feeling right now. Do you think she's alive or is she gone?
No, it's not that simple, because when you spit in a tube, it is fresh DNA and lots of it. They make you put, I don't know if you've done it, but you put quite a lot of saliva. They do that partly so it's consented. They don't want people stealing other people's DNA. I want to see if my boyfriend has any kids out there, right? Let's get his toothbrush. They don't want that to happen. They want to make sure the person whose DNA is being tested has
get a bunch of it. Yeah.
And so it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to try to sneak a small amount of a
wonder if he's got any kids.
They'll reject it. They reject lots
Oh
of
man, what's
samples.
up,
My
Lisa?
brother-in-law's was rejected 3 times before it went through, because some people don't have as many skin cells in their saliva, for instance. So they're very, very careful, and they have very strict standards for what DNA they will accept. So it's not like you can just dump some of the crime scene DNA in that tube and mail it in. It's not going to happen.
I always wondered about that, and
learned a
it makes
lot,
perfect
man.
sense, because I couldn't understand why I had
DNA
to fill
breakdown,
half
y'all.
of a
Yep.
tube when a crime can be solved like Kohberger's with a tiny amount of DNA on the
Yeah,
note
they don't
sheets.
really need that much. They really just need a much, much smaller amount.
Cece, let me ask you this. I mean, it's frustrating, right? Because there are just millions upon millions of identities and samples, etc.
Did you guys see that lady that tripped out on JLR and the people sitting in front of her house? Did you see that? That was funny, I thought.
These commercial
JLR is getting it all.
But what do you think is going to break the seal? A case like Nancy Guthrie's, where there is this challenge, this warrant served? I thought that multiple warrants have been served in the past, but just not many. It really in the rarest of cases.
No.
And you're saying it's just never
Good
happened.
shit,
No,
good
Do you
there's,
see anything
well, there's
happening in
been
this
a
one?
warrant served on
Down
GEDmatch.
south.
I
He'll
just
be
need to
home
clarify
soon.
that. When they went
He's
into
probably counting days
opt-in,
now.
opt-out, they used to be wide open. And now it's opt-in, opt-out. And right after they switched to that system, there was a warrant served on them for the full database. But we already had the match list in that case. I worked that case. I already had the pre-opt-out match list. So it really wasn't necessary. And we weren't seeing anything new. I think maybe it was a test case for the people who decided to serve that. But it's been greatly discouraged because all of us doing this don't want to lose this amazing tool for law enforcement. So detectives, agencies, prosecutors, the FBI, everyone has kind of treated it with kid gloves. We don't want to alienate the public by going in there like a bull in a china shop. So that's why it hasn't happened yet.
No,
But
But do you think that it's going to happen
I do.
in this case, in Nancy Guthrie's case?
If
getting
they
mad.
get a viable SNP profile and they're unable to identify that DNA contributor pretty quickly, I believe it will happen. Not, if not this.
And digest. And thank you for imparting it on us. I really appreciate it. There's
I
also
would have stayed and watched that, but I've heard this story from her like 4 different times on different podcasts. I'm sorry, but I had to fast forward it, guys. I'm not discrediting her because I believe she's probably a very, very marvelous, sweet, smart woman.
reporting from the New York Post today that is troubling for the sheriff. I know he's come under a lot of fire.
He
This is what
should.
the New York Post is reporting.
He
They're
should.
saying Sheriff Chris
He should
Nancy
come under
is
all the fire.
locking down the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's abduction, limiting all decisions to just himself and 2 senior officers, according to the report. Nanos, who has also faced intense scrutiny for sidelining the FBI, is only allowing Chief Jesus Lopez and Captain Juan Carlos Navarro control over the hunt for Mrs. Guthrie. Quote, he will only let himself or 2 of his hand-picked staffers make decisions on the case, one inside.
Wow.
Quote, everybody else is.
Wow. Fire him. Fire him. Get him out of there. What are we even talking about here? What? What? Oh, that's horrible, dude. You were talking all that shit to Brian Enton. My team. And your team is only 2 people? He's elected. Disbar his ass. What do you do? What do you do when he's elected? Impeach his ass. Get that motherfucker up out of here, man. Sorry about the language.
Being told
God.
what to do. No one else has a say-so or
Woo-wee.
opinion. It's just 3 men making decisions. It's
What?
incredibly unusual to do that when you have so many people working together and the FBI are
Yeah, he was
involved.
not
the
ready
source
for this.
added.
He wasn't ready
Additional
for this
quote,
case.
It's limited to the thought
up,
process of 3
Elizabeth?
men. They keep
He
everything from
wasn't
the
ready.
FBI.
You're not
They
ready.
just aren't sharing. It's a pretty strident, accusation from someone who says they're inside the investigation. And this is what they added. So no actual
Yes,
detectives
get him
are
out of there.
steering
Recall,
this,
impeach.
just command staff. This is highly unusual. Normally, an experienced detective would steer it and provide updates through the chain of command, this
Yes.
insider explained. To be fair, it's typical, this insider continues, to keep details under tight wraps, as we saw in the Idaho case. What is unusual, the source says, is
I'll be
command
triggered.
driving the investigation. It's the tail wagging the dog. So
Wow.
again, more sort of chatter from the ground through sources.
That's so
Again,
disheartening.
this is a report in the New York Post. They're citing the Daily Mail from people who are just upset and saying that they just don't like the way this investigation is being run. For his part, the sheriff gave a statement again today, and here it is. Not a lot there. Neighborhood activity. They start with detectives are back. Detectives and agents, which means detectives from the sheriff and agents from the FBI,
Yay.
are back today in the Guthrie neighborhood canvassing as part of the investigation. No additional details will be provided.
I heard
We
that.
appreciate the
Sorry.
cooperation this morning with the traffic movement. Apparently the crews came out, they placed barricades on the roadway. There was a bunch of signs that came up. I saw that with Fox Digital. They captured these crews coming out, posting no parking signs. And I can tell you that's basically just
He's over all
it's
that,
been a
Daryl.
zoo on
He's
Nancy
the
Guthrie
boss
Street.
of all
Upwards
that.
of 300 media at
So
one
it's
point
his deal.
showed up. And so as of just late in the week, they decided to change the roadway to one way only and
One
allow
way
zero
street now.
parking on one side. And
Neighbors
they're
are
just
pissed.
trying to make things workable for the people who still live there, emergency vehicles that need to get through, garbage trucks that need to get through. It was all
Here's
just
the deal. I'm glad you said that, Regina, because that leads me to this. How safe do you feel out there? How safe do you feel in your own home? I'm just going to tell you like this. No lock, no camera, no gun, no man, is going to be able to stand in the way of someone that really wants to do harm to you. So all I can say is just like, try to live your best life and put up things like cameras and things like that to maybe detour. But if anybody wanted to do this kind of harm to you, they were doing it regardless of a locked door, of a camera system, of anything. Like, and that's just the sad part of evil people. I'm one of the people that believe 85% of our planet just want to be normal citizens and go through life with them minding their own business. Probably 85% of the planet. But then you got the other side of the planet that's built, that has mental health, that's undiagnosed. You got a lot of people running the streets right now that got serious mental issues and they just aren't seeing a doctor and have no idea. I've seen it time and time again in my city. It's just a lot of different things, and it's tough. It's tough, but that's just the truth.
Getting very, very difficult. And so this was sort of the update. Also, there's another mention, gloves, the sheriff says in the update. Detectives and agents have collected multiple gloves from the area, and analysis is part of the investigation. Specific details about these pieces of evidence.
Thank you, Creative. I appreciate your dono, baby. Thank you. I try to come up here and speak to y'all every day. I really do. I have been lately because I've been at home all day. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll be back to work. I'll still be here every night with you. Yep. I may start taking like a day off once I'm working, but I'm still going to be here every night. I will be. I will be.
Right now, 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 right now.
I kind of think that's why they want the underground media out of there, is because they are putting the pressure on Sheriff Nanos. Because the more they stand out there and the more they don't see a press conference and the more they keep filming, nothing going down at Nancy's, like, where's the fucking people at investigating this? They're not even being followed around. Where's the investigators at? Where are the YouTubers that could follow the cops wherever they go and follow the leads? There is none. There's no people out roaming around looking for Nancy. Until today, the people got together and did it.
Will not be shared publicly.
Can't believe
this. Remains an active investigation. Resources, there have been no changes.
Where are the boys in blue or the FBI or
there
the
may be fluctuations
alphabet
day
boys
to day based on investigative leads. Several hundred law enforcement personnel remain dedicated to this case. This will remain an active investigation until Nancy Guthrie is found or all leads are exhausted. And then the comment from the sheriff about DNA, all evidence from the crime scene.
We got a poll up. If y'all could take the time to just answer my question on the poll, I would greatly appreciate it. I want to know what your gut instinct feels, not your heart, not your brain, not what you're thinking, but what your gut is telling you.
Has been submitted for analysis. Lab experts are working through that analysis. As with any biological evidence, there can be challenges separating DNA, etc. There are currently no updates.
What's up, Mia?
This process. Well,
inside job.
Is an update, Sheriff. You just gave it to NBC. So this is what makes people very frustrated.
See?
Because they hear one thing from you today and you taped something with NBC yesterday that is different. Saying, in fact, there is a struggle going on at the lab in Florida to separate this unknown male DNA.
See, the damn sheriff can't even be honest. The sheriff cannot even be honest.
From a mixture.
One day to the next.
You know, clear as mud in the messaging, and also a little unfair too, because this is what happens when things are complicated. You get messy reporting.
He's like a politician to me.
Gets messy details and messy facts. All right. Like something else that the sheriff put in his statement. Helicopter / landfill. That's the title. Yesterday, there was a lot of reporting about a private helicopter searching in what looked like a grid pattern over a landfill in the Tucson area.
Private helicopter.
What the sheriff says is the private aerial activity near a landfill yesterday was not related to this investigation. All that says to me is that the investigators weren't involved. Does it mean that a private searcher wasn't trying to do something?
Yeah.
It's hard to say because even if
Yeah.
they were
What's
using
wrong with that?
the signal sniffer,
Why do the private people
that
have
would be
to be
part of the
doing this?
investigation.
It's amazing.
So take that for what it is. Also, private search parties. The sheriff is, it seems, discouraging volunteer search parties. Let me read you his words. Volunteer search groups have inquired about being in the area. Per the sheriff, they were asked to please give investigators the space they need to do their work. We appreciate their concern.
Where are they?
We all want to find Nancy, but this work
Where
is
are
best
they?
left to professionals. Pima County Sheriff's Department has volunteer opportunities if they wish to get involved with the department. Private property laws apply. It is up to each individual property owner to grant permission for anyone to.
You went down there, Indian? Indian said, I wondered, so I drove down the road 1 a.m. No lights. Passed closest neighbor next day. Asked him what time and what he seen on his cams. Couldn't see vehicle. Can now? Huh. Dude, yeah, they don't have any street lights. There's no street lights. Oh, okay, on your road. I got you. Yeah, but like I said, there's no street lights over there where Nancy is. None at all. Like they like to stargaze.
Be on their property. I understand that. That makes sense. But I also have heard criticism that, I mean, for God's sake, the desert is a big place. Why not enlist the help of others? I mean, search parties for Elizabeth Smart were enormous. Private search parties came in and they were looking everywhere. And in a lot of the cases,
why aren't we having search parties, y'all?
come in, people that are well established with law enforcement, work well with law enforcement. So I'm a little surprised that they're just being discouraged outright by the sheriff because, again, the desert's a big place and they need as many eyeballs as they can get, you would think. But again, doesn't want to corrupt or disturb their investigative process in any way.
Where are they
Media
investigating?
availability.
Because no YouTubers are flying to run to anywhere that these FBI agents are going or the sheriff's going or these cops are going to check anything out. Where are they doing this? From their desk? They're right next door, Monica. She's pretty close. Her neighbor is. And they got ring footage off that camera. But the problem is these houses, they don't sit right on the road. Like Nancy's got like a path that goes up in there, but beyond that path, you won't see anybody on the street. I think they ripped the camera down so they could pull the car in there. You know what I mean? They ripped it down to go in there. They pulled the car around, not ripped it down, stupid. They pulled the car in. They ripped the camera down because they didn't want them to see the car.
There are currently no press briefings scheduled. We do not anticipate any sheriff media availability next.
Hold on. That guy could have been that guy could have very well been by himself too. He could have did what he did to Nancy, left, come back, ripped the camera down, and pulled her out. Very well could have been one person. But a dead body is like the heaviest thing, too. Thank you, Brooks and Gardens. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. My people be showing love. We don't have to talk about the Whitakers.
Right now, 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 right now.
I did not see that, Brandy. Thank you, Brooks. You are appreciated, baby. Much love to the supporters, baby.
Woof. If that changes, we'll let
Shout
you know
out
by
to
email
the
or
supporters.
via Pima Sheriff.
Yeah, I really love you. Shout out to the supporters.
That's why there's mixed messaging. You know, you give these cherry-picked interviews out, and then you get a statement the next day that doesn't even match the interview that you gave yesterday. It's all very troubling. It's been frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. But I
Get him.
encourage
Get
you
him.
all.
Get him, Ashley.
I've said this a few times and I'll say it again. 1-800-CALL-FBI is the place to call for tips. Okay. 40,000 plus tips have now come in to the sheriff and to the FBI, but they do ask that think about it before you call. Think, is this a viable tip? Don't call with your theories. That's not what they need. Or complaints. Don't do that. It is really just tips. And to that end,
why would
is there
people
somebody
call
who's
with
been
theories?
acting
People
weird?
probably do,
Somebody
though.
you know in the Tucson area that started acting weird on February 1st, Sunday, February 1st. The habits changed, patterns changed, behavior changed. They disappeared for big chunks of time and then reappeared, and they were nervous.
Why
but then
was
they
there an
disappeared
open
again? And maybe in
Why was there an opened APS case for Nancy a week before this? Wonder why. That's weird that they would open up a case for Nancy from APS a week before she was abducted. Did somebody call to fuck with her? Because if somebody called to fuck with her, that's probably your person. You know, tell her on her and try to get her pulled out of the home or whatever. I'm gonna grab a
ensuing
drink.
days, their patterns were just inexplicable, as was their behavior. That's a tip. That is a tip. Because whoever did this to Nancy Guthrie didn't have a normal routine that next day or the day after. Probably had some real abnormalities in their routines. So you've got the body shape, you've got the bending, the gait, the way the person moves, the mustache and what looks like a goatee. You've got all that to go on. Some of those clothes, that gun holster, that backpack, balaclava, got all that to go on. And then the behavior. Does it just, yeah, so-and-so is acting real weird and didn't come to work for like 2 days with not a good excuse. Or, yeah, they just keep vanishing and no explanation. Or they're acting real strange and uncomfortable. I can't explain it. Those are good tips. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
listening.
Ashley.
Don't forget, the member.
I thank you. She was the one that kind of broke this. Yeah, that house is sharp. It's sharp. Most definitely. Let's go check out JLR where this lady freaks out on him. Y'all want to check it out? Well, she freaks out on everybody out there. The neighbors are getting pissed. I don't know why the neighbors would be so mad. Like, let these people do what they do. Just go on about your business. Go on about your day. Who cares? You can't. That's how old folks get. My grandmother was that way. Straight up. She didn't want no rocks in her fucking yard because she had, it would tear her mower up. she didn't want you pulling into her driveway and so fast that it moves the rocks into the grass. She was on it, dude. And I mean, it's cool to be that way. You get stuck in your ways, but like, this is a murder scene. Let these people do what they do. Don't get all freaked out.
It's a public road. We're not filming your house. And we're not filming your
Hold on. She is tripping, bro.
house. We're walking.
She pulled over. Ooh.
Who are you people and what are you doing here? This is our house. What are you doing?
Ooh.
It's a public road.
Filming.
It's a public road.
What are you
We're
filming?
not filming your house. And we're not filming your house. We're walking. This is a
Yeah,
public
who are
road.
you and where are you from?
Who are you and where are
Media.
you from?
I live here. This
I
is my street.
But we're
What
not-
the hell are you
We're
doing?
not involved with your house.
Well, then get the hell out of here.
We're walking.
Yeah, well,
You're the one
keep
with the
walking.
vehicle now. You can get in your
You're
car.
filming, and
All
you
due
have no
respect.
right to film me. You have no right to publish any of this.
All
You
due
came
respect.
out on
Get
the
the hell
camera.
out.
You
All due
came out on the
respect,
camera.
You can hop in your car and go into your house. No one's
You
bothering
can
you.
leave.
We were
Keep
walking.
walking.
When we're done with
Keep
what we're
walking.
doing,
Keep
we'll
walking.
leave.
We will
But
keep
you're
walking.
filming our property. You have no right
No
to
one's
do
filming
that.
your property.
We're not
You don't
filming
get-
houses.
Yes, you were. You were.
They're not
about the
filming
house.
her
We were
property,
filming you
y'all.
until you walked up here. We started filming you once you walked up here.
So you put
You
yourself
put
on
yourself
camera.
in here. You
And
see
you
the
have
camera?
no right to use that footage. For anything, you have no right to use the footage of our house.
You walked into
That's
our
funny,
camera.
Monica.
Well, the sheriff
You
seems
have
to
no
let
right
us.
to be here.
We do.
Get the hell out.
You can go back.
Damn.
I'm sick of this media
Have a good day,
circus
man.
bullshit.
Have a good day, man.
Get
God
the
bless.
hell out of our.
God bless. Maybe tell your
So
sheriff.
she don't give no fucks about Nancy. Like, that's what that screams to me. That's what that screams to me. Like, there was a lady abducted in our fucking neighborhood, you dumb cunt. Sorry for the language. What's up, James? There was a lady abducted in your neighborhood, and you think this should just all go away. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be crazy. No, you don't want this to go away if you're a neighbor. Hell no. At least you're safe right now. HOA. It does look like some HOA shit. They're on a public street, dude. They can film her now. She got out of her car, come up yelling at him. Of course she's going to get filmed. The only time that they filmed the neighbor's house is when the police went over there. Like, come on, man. You guys are tripping. You want the media to be out there if you live in that neighborhood. Am I right or wrong? How would you guys feel? I'm being honest. Like, if you were if you lived in that neighborhood and Nancy's been kidnapped, wouldn't you want people to be there to help get this solved and get this person off the streets? Yeah, don't film me, but hello, I'm going to act a fool. Now it's going to get published. It's published because JLR is looking at it. It's published now. You don't got no right to publish this. People act like cameras aren't everywhere. Like, you're filmed everywhere. Everywhere you go. Miss Kravitz, that's her name. Oh my Lord.
To do a better job, and we wouldn't have to be here.
Yeah, but if they're not filming your house, I don't really see both sides of it. Because if you're trying to help a woman, maybe she thinks that the media that's there ain't trying to help, and they're just there to siphon off of it. Because people do start to think that. But I don't think JLR is doing no like milking. I don't. I mean, I've seen people over there saying it in this chat, saying that he was milking it. And nah, man, the story's still a story. It is. And as long as people are paying attention to it, and it's a story.
Bring Nancy home.
Pieces of shit.
Welcome to America. Bring Nancy home.
Wow.
Yay! Look how you drive.
I think that was a little uncalled for. I'd stay silent. I mean, we're literally just walking down the street. I'm talking.
Literally just walking down the street.
And she just runs up.
That is crazy, bro. Just walking down the road. Here you go. Fuck you. Get out of my neighborhood. Nah, man. Nancy's gone, bro. Like, you don't care that your neighbor's been fucking kidnapped? I don't care if you don't know her. I would still care. It could have been the meanest lady on the street. In my neighborhood, the people would come together. I'm sorry. It could have been the meanest lady on the block that got kidnapped, and these people would be out searching for her. I guarantee it. Why is nobody in their neighborhood searching? Like, let's get together a search party, guys. What days are you off? Okay, I'll take this. Boom, boom, boom. Most of these people are rich. Yeah, nothing else. The traffic would piss me off. The media is just sitting and daylighting, doing nothing. At least JLR looks and stuff. Yeah, he does. But a lot of them people they sit out there all day to wait for something to happen. And if nothing happens, then they do little clips to their media. Fox or fucking News Nation's gotten good at it now. Let's see what this poll looks like, man. That poll. How many people? Wow. Out of 53 votes, almost all of you believe that she's gone. I thought I was a little crazy for thinking it, but I'm not. Yeah, it could have been her, right? It could have been her that was kidnapped. Exactly. 55 votes. Even more people believe it. Damn. Yeah, I think what the police need to be doing is a recovery mission. They need to get out the dogs. They need to get out the planes, the helicopters, and they need to put a search down for somebody that might be gone. And you got to think, man, nobody's going to keep a dead body. No way, no how. They're going to throw it in a river. They're going to throw it in a lake. I don't know how many lakes and rivers Arizona has. It's a desert, but you know. Whew, I'm cold. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of them are just sitting there. JLR is moving around. He just don't stay in front of Nancy's all day. He kind of has a day because there's nothing new. And I've noticed this with this investigation that during the weekend, nobody's saying anything. Nobody does anything or moving anything. And it's like, you're really taking your weekends off when somebody's missing? I mean, I could feel them, Susan, a little bit by like not wanting to like get your house filmed. I get it. You know, I do. But I would just chalk it up as to let them do what they're going to do. Let's hope they find Nancy doing it. I think people should go home at night. There shouldn't be any media out there at night with their lights on and shit. Yeah, the police haven't done anything that we would have done. And that's kind of crazy because we're nobodies. It is, Harry. It is. Like, people have gone crazy. The sheriffs flubbed this up, yo. They have, Timmy. They have. They said they have went to Mexico, got their authorities. They've got the border where checking and all that, you know. One can only hope, but it's way too past that by now. If they've already took her across the border, it's already happened. That happened before you got them involved. And like, they only check 1 in 10 cars, I've heard. Like 1 out of 10 cars, you might get caught. Hello, Vicky. Or Vic. Yeah, Vicky. Good to meet you, Vicky. Good to meet you. Always glad to have new folks. It's so sad, man. Like I said, I'm kind of treating this like if this was my mother. This was my grandma, bro. How would I feel? I don't know how I would feel at this point. I really don't. I would feel like that she's gone. I'm a realist. So I kind of keep it real through the most weirdest situations that some people would try to like gaslight or whatever. But I keep it real, man. And my gut is way smarter than my heart or my brain. Seems that way. But my gut's telling me that she's gone, man. 22 days. That's a lifetime to a person that's kidnapped. Because I guarantee you, every minute drags. Every second. I almost feel in my gut that she was gone before she left the house. But I can't wrap my head around why you would want to take the person that you killed from the house when you could have just left her there. It's odd. They did something to her before she left that house. What it is, we don't know. Maybe hit her, got her in the car, hit her, made her get in the car that way. And then they did something else to her after they got away. And they probably did something to her and just left her there. That's kind of how I feel. Either they did it right there in the house, but I think they probably hit her, forced her into the vehicle, went somewhere else, and did it to her. It's sad that I have to feel that, but Yeah, they said there was blood inside and out. Yeah. Blood inside and outside. So that person ripped that camera down so you couldn't possibly get the vehicle. That's what I'm thinking. But I have no motive on why they would want to do this. I'm just thinking with my criminal brain. You know, I'm an ex-criminal. So I'm thinking like a criminal here. I don't know why they would want to do this unless they were hired, unless they were part of the family to get something out of it, or you just fucked up robbing the wrong house and you did something bad. Hey, Leanne, membered back up. We call ourselves an OG member.
Right now, 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 right now.
To all of our members, if you've become a paid member on this channel, hit me up so you can get that Discord link. If your channel's not older than 6 months, probably not going to give it to you.
And parks and says we're start filming our house, and I was literally interviewing two people walking up the street, and she just jumps up ahead, pulls out, and starts screaming.
I know it, baby. I know it. I'm always going to stay a member too. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to be better and get myself back. I'm going to be trying to pack my weight back on lately. Yep. I'm trying to do all that right now.
That's pretty crazy. That was the only one, like, an encounter.
It buy them time.
That was like crazy.
It did kind of buy them time by taking her. That's a good point to look at.
Which one we're at? Oh, here?
Yeah, she walked up on the crime scene, remember?
Oh,
My
yeah,
singing?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I definitely ain't going to keep people if I sing.
Pretty crazy. I'll send you.
It would have. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that, Susan. The pacemaker would have stopped if she died there. Yes. So they probably hurt her. You know, they had a gun. So smack her. You know, if she don't want to do anything you're telling her to do, smack her in the face with that pistol. She'll get to fucking moving. I hate to say it that way, but it's kind of true. You smack that old lady in the head with a pistol. She didn't know how to walk very well anymore. Like she couldn't. She was physically couldn't walk that well. So I bet they did that. I bet they hit her and made her get in the car. I just don't know the motive. I don't know why. Why you would do this, man. Ooh, they don't have no they don't have a bag attached to them no more. No bag no more, y'all. I can't figure out a motive. I mean, what do you guys think? Insurance? Who's the beneficiaries? Who's on the wheel to get the home? It's a nice home. The battery continues? Okay. But it loses signal though, right? It has to lose signal. Somehow. The pacemaker won't keep going if your brain dies though, will it? It might stay. I don't know. That's awfully fucking strange. They said they ruled out the family. I don't know what's up with Tommaso, but I'm sure they did. They ruled him out with the family, right? You just heard that her granddaughter is being held in police custody and the boyfriend being questioned. Don't know if it's true. Ooh-wee. Well, that's a good theory to think about. Somebody real close to her. Like, people just don't break in homes that they don't know. I feel that way wholeheartedly. I really do. I feel like you're going to want to know what time they come and go, when they're going to be home, who's all going to be home. And they knew that she was there alone, or they didn't think anybody was there at all. But I don't know why you wouldn't. If you're a family member, then you're going to know grandma's at home asleep. Yeah, no forced entry. Which granddaughter? Annie's son? Annie's daughter? I'd like to know. What's up, Blaze? I'd like to know which daughter's kid or which kid it is for the grandkid.
Yo, an X.
Oh, really, Cajun? Okay, right on. Thank you. That clears some thoughts and questions I've had. Thank you. I'm going to have a party when they find her. I am. Let's keep our hope up, y'all. Let's
I got
keep our hope
Michelle
up.
F. Pictures. You sent a bunch of pictures, that Michelle F. I'll look into this person.
I know. I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Stay on path, man.
Interesting. I'll look into that.
You're doing good shit.
And you talk about the person that starts with the letter J.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they have reflections. I hope. But they ain't telling us shit. Okay. Got you.
Oh, we got the sunset coming up in the next 10 minutes, so we'll go watch the sun.
Could be,
like we
Brandy.
always do.
That's what crossed my mind immediately.
Where is Nancy, for real?
Bet.
Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this?
What's this?
What in the heck?
Somebody else pulling in the crime scene. This is getting unreal. This is just getting unreal, man. More flowers. This is fucking crazy. How in the fuck are you able to drive up into that driveway that they quite possibly could have fucking drove out of? How? Why aren't you doing fucking tire samples, all that shit when they got, like, what the heck, dude? He pisses me off. He's pissing me off. The sheriff's pissing me off. No shit. They're just dropping by. Hey, Miss Nancy.
This woman says she has to be here.
What?
She's saying she has to be here. Ma'am, who are you? What's going on? Do you live here? Do you know anybody that lives here?
Wow. You're not supposed to be here. Oh, she stopped.
Oh, it's a delivery.
It's a delivery. Please stop.
It's a delivery.
Cut it out. Well, people didn't know it was a delivery. Okay. Okay, guys, she's asking to stop. I didn't order it. Somebody must have ordered it for me.
Oh, wow. Another delivery of food, y'all. Holy shit. What in the hell is going on, man?
Thank you. I appreciate it. You too. Somebody ordered food for her. I had no idea that.
So PCSD has been saying do not actually deliver food to Nancy Guthrie's house.
amazing.
Somebody sent Wendy's. Somebody sent Wendy's.
And they just let him drive right up in the driveway where she could have been stolen from.
Oh man.
Night, Nova. This is crazy.
Shout out to Kristen from AJBAO 3015. Hey, Kristen. Hello. Shout out. Shout out to Kristen. Where's
That
Nancy?
could be,
Kristen?
but damn, you'd think they'd block it
AJ.
all. You could easily just tape this, you know, put a cone out there, tape it. Nobody would ever drive up in there. Like, what is the fuck is going on, man? I hate to be this way, but you're just botching this shit on purpose. It feels
Kristen,
like.
But Kristen, where's
Is this
Nancy?
on purpose?
Somebody got Wendy's.
Crime scene tape or something to stop, you know, traffic cones. Just move them when the police come. Why
Well,
are we seeing this being botched?
PT water. That's crazy.
How unreal, dude.
Does Luke
I've seen
Orzak
them do
have
less for a
ties
fucking
with the
raid.
Sheriff Misty Haynes,
Or do more for a raid.
8885. I always got to say 8885.
You're right, Kelly. It's starting to fucking be
Something
like,
to look
what else
into.
is going on? Give this to the
Does
FBI,
Zach
man.
or Luke have ties with the sheriff?
I think there was
Misty,
somebody out
I
there
can
looking
tell
at the cards.
over and over.
I seen
You
them
don't
on
like the
JLR
sheriff
stream.
very much.
I think there was a cop out there
Very
looking at
vocal
everything.
against the sheriff, Misty. But you're probably not the only one, Misty Haynes. You're probably not the only one. Feeling like the sheriff is compromised, corrupt,
Yeah.
crooked. Just can't handle this. Too big for his head.
It
Something's up.
is.
Cover up. Inside job. Many people in this chat have been very vocal against Sheriff Nanos. Many.
Yeah,
Not all,
firing.
but many. I'd say more than not.
Impeaching.
In this chat.
He has
Covering
not
this
did good at
continuously every
all
day.
with this.
Where we're at in this case right
He
now.
thought he had the people to do this. He thought he was going to be able to figure this out quick. And that
We
just
have the
may be the
sun going
case.
down in
And it's
about
making
10
him look
minutes. So
bad.
over about 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to go over and see the sun.
It's making him look bad.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
You know about him, Lee?
Who sent you Wendy's?
If anybody wants Wendy's, here it is.
If anybody wants,
I need it. You guys help yourselves.
Thank you.
have some
Yeah.
Wendy's.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the person that called for the Wendy's. I mean, I wouldn't accept food from just anybody pulling up on me. I mean, it came from Wendy's and it's sealed, I guess, but I just wouldn't accept it. Unless somebody I know told me in the chat, hey, I ordered that for you. Then I would eat it. But it's not their fault. It's the stupid ass fucking driver. But how they not know that this is going on? That's crazy to me that some
Look at
people
that.
are so
Might be some
tuned
good
out that they don't
burgers.
even know this is going on.
Go. There you go. You're hydrated. You can stay here nice and energized. Wendy's.
Yeah. That's totally the sheriff's fucking fault. That is a sheriff fault right there.
Everyone's digging in Wendy's.
I said the
Everyone's
road
digging in
that
Wendy's.
whole road should have been blocked off. That whole
What is
road.
it?
Because that's a
Bacon
crime
burgers?
scene. They left
Nuggets
either
and
way
burgers
on that
and
road.
fries.
So that makes
Oh
it a
my.
crime scene.
Nuggets and
There's a
burgers.
whole bunch of burgers on that bag.
Nuggets and burgers and fries. I like Wendy's. Wendy's is pretty good. Wendy's is pretty good.
You don't get why YouTube was that's what JLR does. Believe it or not, YouTubers have helped solve some shit. They have. Believe it or not, they help. But some of them get too involved, start calling families and just get way too involved. I'd rather do it on a reaction standpoint. That way I don't get myself involved with no damn investigations. I don't want the police calling me to court.
Tay bringing food. Yeah, Tay bringing food. Tay, I think, is bringing.
At
down
least
food.
that street, you would guess, you know. You're right, Chris. They are getting in the way a little, but We need them there at this point. We need
Laundry
pressure on that sheriff, dude. Pressure. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Sarah.
Does anyone know if Nancy was taken in accordance with police shift change? Yeah, when is police shift change? Usually it's about 11, right?
10 or 12 hours.
Nighttime, like law enforcement, when they do shift change.
You know, it's different for the Pima County because it's so big and there's. So
I would say 8 to 8.
That's a block party.
No, I'm talking about just general, like a shift change, like for law enforcement.
Yeah.
Hold on. Supposedly the granddaughter is the girlfriend of Nick or Luke. What's his name? Luke? The Range Rover's brother. Oh.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, I just say, like, when I was doing border coverage, people would clock what the border patrol is doing, and then they would act accordingly. They would cross over when border patrol is doing shift change.
Yeah.
But a gag order just involves the people in the case. You can't stop anyone outside the case from talking about it. No, you cannot. A gag order means that the people involved with the case can't talk about it to anyone outside. But if you wanted to talk, you could talk your ass off about it. They can't do anything about that. Ooh. Okay, get back comfortable.
Nobody out and about. I know in the prison system, whenever the inmates would do things during shift change, it's like an hour. You got like an hour shift before everyone shifts and then goes to their assignment areas, whatever.
And if we knew if it was a targeted ransom.
Well, there's no police up here anyway for anything.
No.
Like, they're not up here. They're not up here.
Yeah, they're not giving us no press conference. They're not giving us shit.
See a red sign that says Central Alarm.
Oh, Central Alarm?
Do you remember in front of that house?
Yeah.
My grandparents had that.
Central Alarm?
Hey,
You get it?
Coyotes could have done something with the body at this point. She's been gone forever. She could be a wildlife
My
food,
grandma
y'all.
in the 1980s got robbed here in Tucson.
Really?
They came to her house and hit her on the head with a frying pan.
Damn.
And they stole all her jewelry. And then they installed Central Alarm.
Really?
And what they do is anybody comes in the door, it calls the police.
I know. I'm going to start focusing on missing kids and missing kids and missing women. At least to help put an eye out,
As much as the
I know I can't save nobody, but I can put some eyes on some things.
System would have actually called the police. Just someone coming into the house.
Yeah.
Police would have been here.
Can't the FBI just take over 3 cats?
Yeah.
DL says. Yeah, they could, right?
Why? When are they going to? Tomorrow, hopefully. They say, "Step aside, sheriff, you little boy."
Take over at any time.
And FBI come in and big boy him.
Whose van is this? My
Oh,
shop
what's
was
going on?
burglarized. Love Juz Tiz says my shop was burglarized.
these
And the police said it was
Bobcat
right
Cougars,
around
yeah.
the time of their shift change. Something to think about.
They definitely
Pima
took her
County
somewhere
Sheriff's
different than this
Patrol.
area. I think she's in a whole other area, but close by. I don't think she's too far gone. You wouldn't want to travel with her forever. I'll tell you that. She did cards.
He ate
Okay.
Wendy's right there. He
That
got Wendy's.
family or friend has something to do with it. Her great grandmother was a showman. Nice.
Ready to watch sunset? Want to see the sunset up here?
Here comes your friend.
Who's my friend?
The purple hat. Back.
Oh, yeah.
So Arby's.
We're going to watch the sunset. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, people.
I was gonna bring
a lot of
857 with
these
me.
Go cold, man.
Watch the sun.
And if you start tapping back
coming.
into them,
I think the sunsets up here are amazing. Top of the hill.
the desert is beautiful, though. I always thought the desert was just sand and not very pretty at all, but it is beautiful. There's a lot of sights to see in the desert that are pretty. I thought it was just sand.
Boom.
There's all kinds of wildlife and
Here we are again.
trees and bushes and cactuses.
We are back.
You think she's with Jesus? See what that poll said.
Sue Ellen might come
I'm
out
gonna end that sucker now.
and say hi.
Shout out to everybody that did the poll, man.
Right there.
Thank you for letting me inside your mind. I appreciate that. Woo!
Boom. Round 2.
Everybody thinks she's gone, man. I hate to feel that way, but I do.
About to go down over the mountain.
Going over the mountain when she comes.
Cool.
I need to travel.
Cool tonight.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Too prickly?
Stunning as always.
That is pretty. That is sexy, ain't it? Damn Hallmark card. Fucking sexy. Everything in the desert. Yeah, but we're bigger than those things, Cajun. We're bigger than bobcats. We're bigger than scorpions. Dust in the
A
wind.
pretty sunset.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Where's Nancy?
Uh,
Never give up hope. Never give up faith.
damn. Nice.
It's really good out there. Something beautiful is going to happen.
It's a different kind of heat, though. It's like a dry heat. When it gets hot in my state, it gets hot with that humid. Aw. Yeah, bobcats are ferocious, that's for sure. I'll punch one right in his mouth. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna hit that thing so hard. I'm gonna knock that bobcat out. Punch that bobcat right in the fucking head. Bow. Better get off me. Bitch, 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 get off me. Ah.
There it goes.
It's gone, y'all. Time for you to
Sky
go
turned
home for the
orange.
night, JLR.
Another day.
Well, like you said,
Yeah, it's hot out there
days
for sure.
away,
Ain't no
we're
doubt
getting
that.
working.
That's why it's able to look the way it does. It's hot. It's hot and dry. Like there's not many lakes, I'm guessing, huh?
Go to the park.
It's a desert.
Follow up on that. See what the feds were snooping around at the park. State park. How far is that? It's like that way, right? West? She said west.
Okay, because I'm
I don't know, chat. I don't know. Another day in the books and nothing said by any of the feds or the sheriffs. I don't feel like they work on the weekends. Has anybody have for those that have been watching this like heavy on like different channels and JLR and watching the ones like the ones that are exploring, have you guys seen them following any agents or any sheriffs to an address or to look for anything? Have you guys seen any of that? Because every place I look, I don't ever see cops or sheriffs or FBI agents at all. It's almost like they're not even coming outside to do the work. They're just sitting behind a desk. Because I don't ever see them. I mean, I see the cops that are guarding the house, but what are the other ones doing? I've never seen them. I've never seen them go to like any of the, YouTubers be like, oh, they're going here, guys. They're going here. They did one night with that SWAT. But there should be investigators like all over Tucson right now, or the Catalina foothills for sure. You think they'll call it off? Twice in 3 weeks. The sheriff needs to do a public speech to get the morale back. He needs to get the citizens behind him more. And that would be good for his stupid ass election. And it would be good to get people to simmer down a little, get back on looking for her, because people are getting mad right now. They are. It's kind of crazy that they botched this and just let people drive up, let the pool get cleaned. What if there was evidence near the pool stuff or in the pool or drowned it or something like that? I don't get it. What's the vet? What's up, Texas? I do enjoy coming on here and theorizing with you guys. Thinking out loud is what I call it. Having different emotions and opinions and thoughts and thought processes. I enjoy it with y'all. Y'all are awesome. Already contaminated. Yep. Yeah, they cleaned it because I thought they were there to do something else. And then I watched Fox News and they had a hover thing over top of them. And there was pool cleaners really cleaning the pool, man. I was like, oh no, what are they doing? And then there was a locksmith guy that came in there. He didn't do nothing either. What was he there for? Nobody was even there to look in something. Groupthink. They called me a cult leader. Shout out to the cult, y'all. Y'all are amazing, man. Do me a favor, man. Hit that subscribe button. Like and subscribe, y'all. Voila. Voila. Oh, man. I don't know what to do, man. That's all I'm saying.
At least I'm out here making money, nigga. That's the issue with you. You're not fucking business smart. I tried showing you business smart, but you don't want to fucking do it.
You don't want to fucking do it. I tried showing you. You don't fucking listen. Oh, man. I haven't played that clip in a while, boy. I used to have fun with that clip. Oh, sorry, y'all. Don't even watch the news. I don't either. I'll watch like a clip or something they might have, but like sitting down watching the news, hell no. Hell to the no. What are you doing, buddy? Kitty. What are you doing? It's my baby. He's my baby. I love him. He's gonna hate it when I go back to work. He's gonna hate it. Damn, Marianne. Everybody, you guys have a beautiful evening, man. I'm gonna kick back and watch some TV tonight. I'm gonna finish this healing up process. You know, gotta finish. Press all the buttons. And I will see you guys again tomorrow, I hope. I hope all of you have a great evening. Can I come see you in Karma over summer? Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind you. Yeah, summer we'll do something fire. Everybody, I appreciate and love all y'all. You guys have a beautiful evening, man. And let's hope for Nancy. I know our gut feelings are telling us that she's probably gone. But let's just have that yellow ribbon, that yellow flower, that daisy. Let's have some hope. Let's have a little bit of hope for her. Continue to follow along with all the creators that are doing the news or whatever on this. Let's keep it together and let's hope that Nancy is found alive, guys. Let's hope that she's found alive. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all the supporters. I'd like to thank, let me see here. I would like to thank no one from nowhere. Thank you for becoming a member. Morticia, thank you for your $9.99. China Baby, thank you for your $10, baby. I appreciate you. Create Live, I appreciate you for your $5, baby. Brooks and Gardens with the $4.99. Mwah, I love y'all, man. Leanne, thank you for becoming and staying a member. I love y'all. Have a good one. Peace.